Hi, my name is Dave Schwartz, the Associate Principal at Jack Young Middle School, and I'm here to answer some frequently asked questions about standards-based grading. One question that was recently asked of me by a parent was, how did the school decide to make the change to grading practices? Well, 4 years ago, teachers and administrators formed a group named the School Improvement Leadership Team, or SILT. Our task was to examine grading practices used in the district, study research-based grading practices, read current books on grading by Rick Wormley, Ken O'Connor, and Thomas Guskey. What we found were many inconsistencies in the grading from building to building, grade level to grade level, and content teacher to content teacher. An example of this inconsistency was the way I graded my students in the 7th grade math class I taught. That was much different than the other math teacher graded her students on the same content. I used a weighted system while she was using total points. The result was inconsistency in the reporting of the knowledge level of students in both of our classes. Members of SILT also had an opportunity to attend conferences devoted to the changing ineffective grading practices and to reinforce our research and book studies. The members of SILT then developed a working timeline for the implementation of standards-based grading practices throughout the district with action steps by all key stakeholders. Some of these action steps include ongoing professional development with teachers or teaching staffs to assist in the transition from traditional to standards-based grading, handouts and flyers and listening sessions and discussion times with parents were set up at the parent-teacher conferences. Teachers developed learning targets and quality rubrics to assist in student assessment. There was a development of a new report card and reporting system. Last year, we went through with the implementation of standards-based grading in the middle school. And over the summer and this year, we are in the reflection and refinement mode of our grading practices. It is important to note that our staff's continuing to refine our skills at assessment of today's learners, and we will continue to tweak the system to better serve our learning community. Another question I often hear is, why standards-based grading? It is our belief that grades should be a communication of what a student has learned throughout a unit of instruction. When tying learning to a set of standards, not compliance, attitude, or willingness to do something extra, we have a more accurate picture of what a student knows. All learning standards used in our areas of instruction in mathematics and language arts are also tied directly to the Common Core state standards, which the state of Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction has directed all school districts to follow. A new set of national science standards are also being adopted, and we will be making the necessary adjustments to our science curriculum being taught at the middle school to reflect that adoption in the near future. Standards-based grading also individualizes instruction for students because parents, students, and teachers will be able to pinpoint deficiencies and improve student learning. This will also assist teachers in identifying when to adjust instruction. This new grading practice will report what skills are mastered and which areas need more attention. This will be helpful for teachers to adjust instructional practices or focus based on previous year's standard report cards. Finally, standards-based grading eliminates grade inflation based on non-academic activities like bringing all supplies to school on the first day, perfect attendance, participation in class activities, and other ways students earn points tied to raising a grade. Questions also come up about what each of the points mean in a 4-point scale. When students earn scores of 1, this should indicate that a child has not grasped the instruction on that standard and needs to continue to work on that standard, and additional support is going to be needed. When a student earns a score of 2, this indicates that a student is developing an understanding of the standard, but still may need some additional instruction and support, or maybe just a little bit more practice. A score of 3 indicates that a student has independently achieved this standard. The student demonstrates mastery of the standard and can do it on a regular basis. And a score of 4 indicates that a student exceeds a standard by consistently demonstrating an advanced level of understanding and shows that the ability to apply their knowledge at a higher level or in a new, more challenging activities. Some parents have asked, how should they know when their child needs extra help? Some things to look for from your child are frequent scores of 1 or 2 on similar tasks. This may indicate a deficiency in that skill. Also, your students might complain of lack of understanding or express major anxiety about an upcoming assessment. That could be an indicator that they need some extra help. And finally, a final telltale sign is that your child frequently does not bring practice materials home to work on independently. That might be a good indication that they need some extra help. My advice to parents is to contact your child's teacher if you notice any of these symptoms or if you have questions about your child's progress. Many teachers hear the questions about how the grades are calculated in standards-based grading. Many classes employ different types of assessments ranging from unit tests, projects, and labs. The majority of the score is based on the summative assessment your student takes or completes within the class periods. Activities completed in practice activities, including homework, normally count very little toward your child's final scores. In addition, your child will be allowed to multiple attempts at showing mastery of a standard. We do redos at Jack Young Middle School. Again, check with your child's teacher for their specific grading procedures. One major question that has been answered several times by myself and many other instructors at Jack Young Middle School is, how does standards-based grading help my child to get into college? Preparation for high school and college is built upon knowledge, skills, and work habits. This grading system clearly communicates to students and parents what knowledge, skills, and work habits are firmly in place, which skills and work habits need some reinforcement. Performance in middle school is one critical predictor of success in high school and college. Students who meet standards and demonstrate effective work habits will likely succeed in school. Additionally, high school reform efforts are focused on increasing the rigor of college-bound students in high schools nationwide. The following quotes are from Ken O'Connor, educational consultant and grading and assessment expert. Your middle school grades will not in any way impact your ability to become a doctor. Nobody looks at middle school grades after you are a high school freshman. Just concentrate on your learning and your grades will look after themselves. Also, percentages should be eliminated from schools as they tell very little of value, as what they mean depends on the difficulty of the concept or the skill or the difficulty of the assessment. Descriptions of levels of performance, on the other hand, have real meaning. 40% is superb in hitting a baseball and 20% is minimum competence, but both usually represent poor performance in school. Excellence in free throws in basketball is about 80%. But for pilots safely landing planes, minimum competence is 100%. Also, please consider this. The two most highly regarded high school programs around the world are Advanced Placement and International Baccalaureate. Only use levels, not percents. The AP is 5 levels. The International Baccalaureate, 7 levels. Finally, I ask you to view other podcasts created by Jack Young Middle School teachers and the way they use standards-based grading in their classrooms. Thanks for listening, and if you have any other questions or suggestions, please contact me or John Gannell at Jack Young Middle School. Thanks for your time.